As your beaver empire grows in Timberborn, you'll eventually need to occupy more land and spread out through the map. However, you can't just build wherever you want. You'll need to utilize districts in order to expand, but they can be a little overwhelming for newer players. In this video, I'll teach you how districts work and how to efficiently create new ones without wiping out your entire population. Consider subscribing if you find this video helpful. Districts have range limits. Your beavers can only build and work to a certain distance from the district centre. You can check the range by clicking on the district building and is shown by the red line and blue area. New districts don't cost anything to build, you just have to connect them with paths, but they don't spawn with any resources or beavers. You either have to gather resources again or ship them from your first district. And this is where people will struggle the most. Transferring resources between districts can be hard to manage, especially if you have multiple districts. To move resources across districts, you need two structures. One is just a drop-off point you place in your new district so they can receive goods. This doesn't cost anything to build, so you can place it straight away. The other is a distribution post which you place in your old district to ship the goods. It requires 30 logs and 15 planks to build. They're not resource intensive, however they do cost 250 science points each to unlock. You can set up districts without needing these buildings, however as you'll learn in this video, they make creating new districts much easier. The first step is to scout a good location. As I mentioned before, beavers won't spawn, so we'll need to migrate them from our first district, meaning they'll have to walk from one place to another. If you are on a flat map, you could build a district anywhere at any distance and your beavers would make it easily. The problem is elevation. Beavers can't climb up or down without stairs. If the elevation is in your first district's range, then you can build some stairs or platforms to get past. But there's nothing you can do for obstacles outside that range, so you'll need to choose a different location. Another factor to consider is resources. The more you have in the area, the less you'll need to transfer from other districts. An area with water, berries and wood is the optimal choice, however that might be hard to find depending on what map you're playing. So instead, if you find an area with just wood that's close to water, then that will suffice and you'll only need to transport food. Wood is important because it's also required to build a water pump. If there's no wood nearby, you'll need to transport it and transport water as well until you get a pump built. I advise staying away from barren areas with no resources unless you're building a temporary district to scavenge metal that's far away. If you have to transport everything, it can become really difficult to manage, as currently there's no way to know how much resources a certain district consumes. The devs are aware of this issue and will fix it in the future, but for now, choose a spot where ideally you only need to transport one main resource. The less resources you have to transport, the better off you'll be. For example, I found a perfect spot on top of the lake's map. I have berries and wood on both sides, and this spot in the water is lower, so it acts as a natural lake, meaning I won't need a dam straight away. But before I even place the new district centre down, I'll need to build a few structures to reach the spot. Thankfully, this location is relatively close to my existing district, so I'm going to use them to build platforms across the river, stairs to reach the top, and if possible, I'll try to build a water pump and water storage. Your beavers get thirsty very quickly, so it helps if they have access to water as soon as they migrate. So now the structures that I'll need have been built, I'm going to create the new district. I'll split the paths with a district gate which acts as a border between districts. Then that allows me to place down the district centre. And with that, our new district is ready to go. To migrate beavers over, click on your old district centre, click migrate, select which district you want them to go to, type in how many beavers you want to send over, and then click migrate. You need to be cautious about how many beavers you transfer. If you have berries in your location like I do, then it's not much of an issue, but if you have no food and you rely on transporting it, then there might not be enough food for everyone. Migrate around 5 to 10 beavers first, get them to set up carrot farms, then you can migrate more if you want to. It's also a good idea to transport planks over straight away to speed up the building process in the new district. First, place a drop-off point, then click on your distribution post in your old district. Select add new route, choose the drop-off point in the new district, then select what resource you want to transport. It's crucial to check and edit the resource limits for each district. To do so, click on either a distribution post or a drop-off point, then click District Distribution Limits. These are important to prevent districts from emptying all their resources. The low column is a reserve limit. If you set it to 50 planks, then the district will stop exporting planks as soon as they drop below 50. The high column is an import limit. All the resources are set to 100 by default, meaning once that district has above 100 of that certain resource, they'll stop receiving any more from other districts. Limits aren't much of an issue if you only have one district, but if you have multiple districts with a lot of routes, it can quickly become overwhelming, so make sure you adjust them accordingly. One thing you need to keep in mind is the extra pressure transferring resources puts on the existing district. If you don't have enough resources in stock, there's a high chance of a shortage, especially of water during droughts. Try to build up a decent amount of resources before building new districts, and the faster the new districts become self-sustaining, the better off you'll be. I hope this clears up how districts work. Let me know in the comments below if I've missed anything, or if you have any tips of your own. Hit the like button before you go, and I'll see you in the next one.